You are now listening to the Captain Podcast with Bailey Scott. Why, hello, my lovely Earth Angels. Welcome back to the Captain Podcast. If you're watching the video podcast, I am quite literally in public right now. I am in such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful spot. If you're listening to the audio, go check out the video podcast today. It is probably in one of my favorite spots ever. I'm not going to out where this spot is because I don't want to out where I live, but also I want this to be a very sacred, like I know a spot kind of place. Like I want this place to be like whenever someone comes to visit me, whenever someone's like, so what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? They're new to the town. Even if they're not new to the town, even if they've been here before, I want to say I know a spot, and this is the spot that I want to take people. It has the most... Sorry, I'm not going to play with my hair as much as I did in the last episode. I'm just not going to do it. It was annoying me so bad, so I'm just going to get it all out now. Like I said, I am quite literally in public today, so you're probably going to be hearing some birds, which is... Okay, that's not even a... No, that birds should be heard. Birds deserve to be heard. But you're probably going to hear some airplanes. You're probably going to hear some people chatting. I'm sure there's going to be a child screaming somewhere. That seems to always be in the back of my audio. But regardless, I'm in one of my favorite spots of all time. And I'm just so happy to be here. I am never up here, actually. So I really love to, whenever I'm up in this area, I love to come to this spot and embrace in the mother. And yeah, it just feels really good to be out. And there's that airplane. Honestly, if I hear airplanes, I'm just gonna keep talking. I'll just get a little closer to the mic. But thank you so much for tapping in. I'm actually near an airport, which I kind of completely forgot, but it's okay because they come in and out. It's fine. In today's episode, I wanted to talk about what I feel I am very passionate about. It is a topic that I hold very near and dear to my heart. It is a topic that I actually read about in my book, Rise, not my book, in a book I've been reading, Rise, Sister, Rise. And nature can heal if you let her. So today's topic, I'm pretty much just going to be talking about how nature and how the Mother Gaia has healed me so deeply within my soul, and how you can have this connection with the mother as well if you allow the energy to be there for you and if you accept her within your sphere. So I first want to get into Mother Gaia. So if you didn't already know, Mother Gaia is the whole of Mother Earth's energy. That is the goddess of Mother Earth. And I have felt very connected to Mother Gaia and the Earth for a very, very long time. It definitely didn't feel settled in my body until I want to say, I actually don't really know exactly when it started, but I think it started once I was just kind of developing my spiritual journey. And as soon as I realized that I can actually meditate better and channel better and receive information in nature better than ever, I think that's when I realized that, sorry, there's literally a crow right in front of me. That's when I realized that Mother Nature is actually like the wisdom of all wisdom. If you really want to receive God, if you really want to receive what you're meant to receive, the channels and the hear the whispers of your soul, nature is the place to do so. So I believe that I started just like going to the beach more often because I do live in Florida, and going to the beach is just, of course, that one place really in Florida where you can experience the most nature, because there's not much mountains here or hikes. You can go on trails, but it is a bit exhausting going on trails here in Florida because it's just so hot. So once you actually kind of like get outside and you go to a beach, you at least have the relief of the ocean. This crow. I feel that when I started spending more time in nature, I actually started meditating and listening to my soul on a deeper level. And I feel like that's kind of hard to explain if you don't really do it. So if you have never really like been outside, well, I'm going to be 100% honest. So before I did, the first time that I ever did a psychedelic, which was my psychedelic of choice, was mushrooms. When I first did shrooms and I was outside, I had never felt Mother Gaia the most in my whole life than when I was on shrooms in nature. I feel like I'm collabing with this crow. Like this crow is like right here. He's like right in front of me now. It's like getting closer and closer. It's like kind of crazy. But anyway, so when I did shrooms for the first time and I was in nature, I think that's when I truly was able to channel and like receive information that Mother Gaia was trying to like receive to me. Like the clouds and the trees and the grass and just the water, everything just felt so interconnected with my soul. Like everything truly felt so aligned within when I actually intuitively was like, if I'm on shrooms, especially for my first time on shrooms, I was like, I need to go outside and I need to just be in the elements. And once I was in the elements, I was like, wow, this is what they've been talking about. This is what people mean. So since that moment, I feel like being outside has never been the same in the best. Oh, my earrings just fell out. Being outside has never been the same in the best way possible. Like whenever I would go outside, every single time it would feel like a new chance of beginning, a new chance of experimenting, a new chance of tapping into my body, my spirit, my soul, and everything that has to do with the connectedness of me, other humans, animals, the sky, the trees, all of it. And like when I first did shrooms for the first time, I realized how interconnected it all actually is. So every time that I do shrooms moving forward, I have to be in nature and I have to be outside because that is when I can truly feel everything. But if you are not a person that does psychedelics and you are not a person that does substances in order to feel connectedness, that is totally fine. And you don't need substances in order to do so. I feel like one thing that I love to do whenever I want to connect more with nature is I go outside with no technology, which not today, unfortunately. I have so much technology with me, but literally just my phone and my laptop. But when I go outside intentionally and I go and I just bring my journal and it's just me and my journal, maybe even a yoga mat, and I go outside with the intention to release what I've been holding on to and give it to the earth, because if anything can hold what we are weighing on us, it's the mother, and it's also God, if you truly think about it, because I really do feel like that God is in every aspect of our lives. God is within other people we meet. God is within animals. God is within the little signs that we see. God is in all the little synchronicities. God is in the plants. God is literally in anything and everything. God isn't just like this invisible being that, brings life and makes miracles happen. Like, God is everything. God is the complexities. God is healing. God is pain. God is sadness. God is within every single little intricacy of our lives. And I don't necessarily see God as a gender. I see God as just like this essence of love. And that's why I feel like I love calling it Mother Nature, because I love looking at nature as something that is just so feminine, because it truly is a very feminine essence. Like, nature is just so healing, and there is God within that, just like there's God within everything, right? So when I give my my weight and my anxieties and my pain to the earth through meditation, through journaling, through literally just talking to the trees, it truly does relieve a little bit in me, and it releases what I feel I've been holding on to. And I remember this one time I was on shrooms and I was meditating, and I was just receiving the most downloads I've ever received in my life. I was receiving so much positivity, so much wisdom, so much internal and external validation that everything is okay. I was receiving so much internal dialogue that was beautiful, but I don't even want to say it was internal because I was receiving it, So like, I don't even want to say that it was all me, but a part of it was me, but the part that I was receiving wasn't necessarily me. It was the Tao, God, nature, whatever you want to call it. But I was meditating and I was just receiving it all, and I opened my eyes and there was like this deer staring right in front of me, and it was just me and this deer, and we just had this like really intense eye contact, and I like waved at it, and then it was just such a beautiful moment. I truly had never felt so one with nature than within that moment. And since then, every time I've had a moment with Mother Earth, it was kind of always on shrooms, and it changed how I looked at the earth each time in the best way possible. Like, it constantly changed. Each moment following felt deeper and deeper and deeper. So, sorry, I'm literally in public, so I'm just trying to make sure that no one gets on camera. But yeah, I feel like our true nature can be found in nature. And that's a quote that was in my book today. A true nature can be found in nature. And I think if we are having moments and battling moments of doubt and fear, and, we have all of this weight and anxiety within us, I really do feel like we can turn to nature. And of course, it's not going to happen in one visit. It's not going to happen in 2, 3, 4, 5. It's got to be consistency. I think if we make the conscious decision to go outside and devote time to building a relationship with nature, then that's when we can be able to receive the downloads of what nature holds. And it's kind of hard to explain if you aren't really an outdoor person. And even if you are an outdoor person, it's still kind of hard to explain, because there's just something about what nature beholds that you just feel so interconnected with it, because it truly is something like we are one with the trees and the plants and the flowers and the bees and the birds. We are one with it. And it takes a conscious decision to realize, what? I am connected to the elements. Am I going to build this relationship with the elements? Am I going to build this relationship with these beautiful elements that give me so much life, that give me breath, that give me food, that give me water, that give me beauty? Like, there's so much more that nature gives than just like being able to breathe and food and everything. Like, nature can give. It doesn't even have to know what it's giving. I just feel like nature just bees. And a quote I say a lot to myself whenever I'm struggling and whenever I'm outside and I'm like having a mental breakdown, or I'm having like a downward spiral and I'm outside, I always tell myself, be like a tree. Just be like a tree. Just be like a tree. Trees just be. Trees don't have to pretend. Trees don't have to think about, oh, well, I want to be like that trunk over there. Like, trees don't compare or battle with themselves, and trees know that they are connected within each other because they are quite literally connected underground. But trees don't fight the growth. Trees don't fast track the growth of becoming these amazing things. Like, imagine this tree being a seed and being like, why am I not like that tree over there? Like, I feel like us humans try to fast track so much. We always want so much. We always want so much more than what we have in the moment. And I think when I look at trees, they just remind me that we don't have to feel like we're in a constant battle with each other, with the world. We don't have to constantly feel like that there is a separateness between you and me, and between us and God, and between me and that squirrel, you know? And of course it's hard because this human experience is definitely difficult. Like, there are obviously things within this human experience that make it a little difficult to be in the human experience, like other people and the government and finances and XYZ. But if you look at life as the tree grows, it grows with the flow of life. Trees experience storms. They experience watching their neighbors get chopped down. They experience construction. They experience dead roots. They experience the fall. They experience the winter. They experience seasons. I think that if we can be like a tree and move with the movement of life, move with the flow of life, and adjust to the storms, adjust to the seasons, adjust to the bending of the winds and the ebbs and the flows, if we can adjust and loosen a little bit of the control that we have over every single little thing that happens to us, if we can loosen a little bit of that control, I really do feel like that we can come to an understanding that it's just a season. And like, I know that when I'm in a position in life and life feels heavy and I'm confused and I'm scared and I don't know what's next, and I'm constantly overthinking about what's the next step, what's the next thing, and I know that I'm so young, and I know that like I have my whole life ahead of me, and I know that there is so much that I don't know, and I have no clue what I'm going to get into. I have no clue what's next. I have no idea. I just feel as though that I'm ingesting all this knowledge, I'm ingesting all this information, and it's not for no reason. And it's not for no reason for you either. If you're actively listening to this and you're actively taking time out of your day to understand nature and understand yourself and understand this essence of the human experience, I think that that's a true sign that no matter what life throws at you, you're going to be able to hold it and then give it to God. And give it to God in any way you know how, whether it be praying about it and actually energetically lifting it out of your spirit into the ethers, yeah, or meditating and grounding yourself and releasing it into the earth, releasing it into the grass, and hugging a tree and letting the tree take the weight off your chest. And of course, like I said, it doesn't happen overnight, and I know that there are so many life situations that happen to us that make us feel like it's the end of the world, and that make us feel like we would rather jump off a cliff than be going through what we're going through. And I know that, like I said, I know I'm young, and I know that there's so much that I don't know what I'm going to go through, and there's so much that I can't even begin to imagine what I might feel, happiness or not. But what I do know, what is consistent within my life, would be my relationship with God and my relationship with nature. And they're one and the same, really. They're one and the same. Like, my relationship with God is my relationship with nature. And my relationship with nature is my relationship with myself. And my relationship with myself is my relationship with my friends and my family. And my relationship with animals is my relationship with my spirit. And it's all interconnected, and we might think it's not, but like the space between you and me, I think I heard this in a song. the space between you and me is just the space between your little fingers. It's really not that much, you know. I think the space between us is our different journeys, what we've been through, our differences, you know. Of course, there's a difference between me and a tree. I'm a human being and they're a tree, okay? But there's also the underlying interconnectedness of the roots and the energy. And if we can really just flow and understand that things happen to us and things happen to nature for a reason, and there's a reason why we are here again on this earth to rekindle that relationship and rewind the work that has been done to this earth, I think there is something that we can all do about it. There is something that each and every one of us can do about it in our own individual way. And I think this is my way to just spread knowledge about building your connection with your spirit. And, you know, whether you believe in God or not, there is spirit. And the spirit is within you. You know, whenever you're dead, there's no more spirit in you. You're dead. Your body no longer has spirit. So that's why I feel like when people say that they're atheists, I think deep down people know that, okay, but like when someone dies, there's nothing left in them other than decaying bones, and that's it, you know, breaking down of the body, of the physical body. That is what's happening. So because I've been thinking recently, like whenever I do yoga, I've been thinking like I'm literally alive right now. I'm talking and I'm moving because there's a spirit within me. And it's like that with literally everyone around us. Like the reason that I'm able to speak, the reason you're able to listen, the reason we're able to sing and dance and frolic and stretch and scream and fight and jump off cliffs and swim in the water and blah, blah, blah. The reason we're able to do all these things is because there's a spirit within us. That's literally the only reason that we're able to do any of this, is because there's a spirit within us. I think that you can call it God, you can call it a spirit, you can call it a ghost, whatever you want to call it. There is a spirit within us that's why I'm able to move my fingers. That's why I'm able to speak. That's why I'm able to move my eyes. That's why I'm able to use my brain. Like, the spirit within us is so smart. And if we choose to call it whatever you want to call it, do that. It's free will. That's why we came back here. But I think the conscious decision to connect your spirit with nature can be one of the highest forms of vibration that you can do. And I think that's so fun that we can come back to earth and try to just remember what it was like whenever we weren't on earth, you know? And we can try to rekindle that relationship with the souls that were all around us, and we can try to do it again with people in our life. And I truly know that whatever life does throw at me and whatever situations do happen to me, I'm going to be able to remain present and content within my relationship with nature. And that is the one thing that will be consistent. Relationships aren't, you know, I was going to say they're not consistent. They could be. They should be. I'd like that. But you never know what happens. Death happens, breakups happen, life happens, you know. If relationships aren't consistent, relationships with animals, you know, homes, certain things don't last forever, but nature will always be there. And nature is the closest thing that I think I can get to a physical makeup of God, other than my literal body and your body. So yeah, I just feel very special, and I feel very lucky to be able to be outside and listen to the birds and smell the smells of everything around me. And I hope that you can take a couple moments to go outside and just touch some grass. Like, when people say that, I really hope that they understand the depth of what that can actually do for you. Like, I know technically it's like, go touch some grass. Like, it's some sarcastic remark, but I think that it is a true thing that you can totally do and totally feel good after you do it. Like, hell yeah, I'm gonna go touch some grass. What'd you do today? I touched grass. That's it. I hugged a tree, man. And like, I feel like people that call people that spend time in nature hippies because like they just don't get it. And that's okay. There wouldn't be a human experience if there were people that didn't get it. There's gonna be people that get it and there's gonna be people that don't. And I think that's the beautiful thing about this life. There's people that laugh at people like us, and then there's people that get it. And I think that the polarity is the biggest key factor, that there is a God. The fact that there are so many opinions, and the fact that there are so many different views, and the fact that there are so many questions. I think that is our biggest sign that it's all just real. But I know today's episode was a little all over the place. I feel like I didn't have one specific topic today. And I wanted to give some like examples, but really the example is just go outside. It's literally it. Like, literally just go outside. Like, that's literally it. Like, I wish that I could give you specific things, like hang out in an oak tree and you'll receive this kind of information. No, I have no clue. But what I do know is that outside holds a lot of wisdom, and you can find your true nature in nature. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast. Definitely stay tuned for more episodes. Go outside and bring your journal, and I'll see you in the next episode. And remember to stay tapped in. Bye, guys.